Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. It's the Real Spiel live show here, late night edition, barely October 6th, but we're still calling it that. It's been some time, but we're back. I'm your host, Roman Kelly, joined today by my co-host today, Will Wigginton, and Trevor Kelsey. I say him today. It's nearly the middle of the night, but we're still getting after it. We're getting the chatter in, getting the banter in on all things Louisville football, basketball, all things NFL, college football, you name it. We're going to get into it. And then some other things because that's what we do here on the Real Spill Live show. Will, Trevor, it's been some time, but I've got to ask before we get into any sports talk, how are you guys doing in the last couple of weeks? Will, we got on once, I believe, but Trevor was sick. Trevor, glad to see you looking well. Haircut looking good. Talk to us. How are you doing, Trev?
Well, Winthorpe looking good, feeling good. I do. I guess my first other thing is going to be because it grabs my attention in so many ways, good or bad, every time we do the show. But uh, is it me or is KJ wearing goggles in the opening picture? Like, is he going like scuba diving? What the fuck is this? What's with the
I
goggles?
I think those are chemistry goggles.
So he's like in class or something. He's like, what did he
Yeah,
replace? Did we like Photoshop the beaker out of there or
yeah.
something? I
Well, it
mean.
looks like a picture of him in high school, and then he was probably in chemistry and took the picture. So
They didn't let me do anything involving that would require wearing goggles when I was in chemistry at Wagner. Well, that and I don't think that nothing was actually ever hooked up. Like they
You
would
would have
just like you would like if you're supposed to light something, the teacher would just walk by and go, shh, but
you would
nothing
have blew
actually lit
something
up.
up, Trevor.
hmm
Probably, other than the bathroom on the third floor. Outside that, yeah, I'm doing. Aside from some sports teams, others are doing well. Others are doing not so well. I had a little bit of flu bug. Sorry, it's like a stomach bug. It's one of those things where you can't keep anything down. Or in that which is rough in that way. And, I mean,
Does he sound like this to you too, Roman?
I've never had it. At least I was at home this time. You read it? When you're on the
That
highway.
Trevor, uh, you you got to reset your mic, brother.
I'm a mic fucked up. Well, that sounds that bad.
Yes.
Hey, gang, you sound like R2D2, bro. You sound like
First of all, you didn't talk, nerd. You should know that, Will. I mean, do I sound like where's my baseball?
Oh, You sound like Betty, who's been smoking for 40 years.
You
It's
sound
bad.
like Wally, who's been smoking for 40 years.
Need to reset your shit.
I'll be right back. I mean, didn't grow up in no bully era.
Trevor Kelsey.
Just when
Trevor
I thought we
Kelsey.
were off to a start with no technical difficulties.
That is the
It
real Spiel.
never fails. The Real Spiel Live Show coming to you with our technical difficulties in the open flesh. Ah, I love it. There's nothing better. There's nothing better. What was he saying? Do we know what he was saying?
No, I could pick out like 1 out of every 10 words, maybe. So,
Let us know in the chat if you were able to make out what Trevor Kelsey was saying. I keep going to touch my screen like it's gonna work. I don't have a touch screen.
This still sounds like shit to me, doesn't it?
no, it still sounds terrible.
Man, I mean, literally, we start talking on the show before we come on. And if they doesn't fuck up.
I'm willing to do the show like this. I'm willing to do the show like this.
Can I say something that would sound good in his voice? Like I'm your father or something? I mean, it's like, what happened? Are you okay, man?
You sound like if Darth Vader had a real off the rails uncle. Trevor, don't you have AirPods? Let's try those.
Yeah, they're in the back of the house.
Go grab them.
I gotta get up. Okay, yeah, I'm good. What do you people want from me here? Jesus Christ. All right, my phone's tired. Damn. It's like
It sounds really, really rough.
I don't understand.
Yeah, he's got to hop out.
Okay, I'll go get my AirPods thing.
We'll wait to start without you. We'll wait. We're only 7 minutes in here. We don't have a sponsor, so there's not even anybody that can be upset. There's not even anyone we can upset. There's no one that can be angry. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. We're on X. Shout out to you guys tuning in here with us on the Real Spiel Live Show tonight. We've got Jacob Westerman in the chat saying, now this is the TK experience. That is very, very, very true. Yes, it is. Trevor Kelsey, it never fails. He's going to brighten your night, brighten the show, brighten whatever he's putting his hands on. So hopefully we can get him back in here quickly. AirPods usually don't sound great. He sounds like he's like talking into a microphone that's like in a box across the room. But
Hey, hold on. The Jacob Westerman guy, I had a class in political science with him a couple years ago. I don't know if he recognizes me, but I recognized his name, and I was like, I know that name from somewhere. I took a class with Dr. Ziegler with him back in like 2021, 2022, something like that. So
look at you. Okay.
Shout out Jacob for tuning in.
Shout out Jacob tuning in. Will's memory, nice and fine tuned right here as well. We're waiting for Trevor Kelsey to get back in here. Obviously, we know he's supposed to be part of the show, so we're not going to try to get too far into our sports talk without him. What we can do while we wait for Trevor is, Will, what was up with all of the upsets in college football this weekend?
I don't know, man.
I mean, I shouldn't say college football. I mean, only like 2 or 3 underdogs in the NFL won in the entire slate. Were the Ravens? I mean, were the Chiefs? The Chiefs were
favored. The Ravens were only 1.5-point dogs. So
that's right.
They lost by 34. So that was
everybody that was favored losing. Really, really weird weekend of football. Obviously, UCLA getting the win, Florida getting the win.
Did you know the story behind Jerry Neuheisel? Did you hear any of that stuff? Their play caller. So
no, go into that. I've heard that it be discussed, but I still don't even know what really happened.
So obviously Deshaun Foster was fired not too long ago, but they just installed
last week, right?
Yes, 2 weeks ago. They just installed a new offensive coordinator, and he was a guy who was a position coach. He played at UCLA about a decade ago, so he's only 32, and he's never called plays on a headset. He's never called plays in a game ever, and he called plays for UCLA, who's 0-4 for the first time against one of the best defenses in the sport and hung 42 points on them. And there's a picture when he was playing for UCLA. He came in the game as a backup and won a big game for them, getting carried off the field. 10 years to the day, got carried off the field as a first-time play caller against Penn State. So literally a decade apart, or 11 years. It was a decade or 11 years to the day, though, getting carried off the field.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is he the interim OC?
Yes. So now, I mean, going forward, if things keep going well, I'm sure he'll get looks to be maybe even UCLA's offensive coordinator or head coach because he played there. His dad actually is on the CBS college football panel. So they got his reaction because the game was on CBS. They showed his reactions during the game, and he was like crying after, talking about how proud he was of his son and stuff like that. It was just a really feel-good story and a crazy game. And Nico Iamaleava, he popped off. He's been terrible to start the season, honestly.
Best game as a collegiate athlete, probably.
Yeah, I wonder what his stat line was. I need to look, but I mean,
didn't he have 2 rushing touchdowns?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure. I know he had like a 50-yard run during the game. Let's see real quick.
Just in terms of the way he performed against that level of opponent, that's got to be his best win. You know,
Jesus, yeah, he had 16 carries for 128 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Three. Whoa!
Threw for 166 yards and 2 touchdowns with no interceptions. So he was dynamite all game.
Already sounding better, Trevor.
Do I sound okay?
Too crazy yet? Yeah, you sound perfect now.
I can't even see myself now at home. I'm like the oldest man in the motherfucking just sort of God, dude.
Shout out Jacob Westerman in the chat.
How's this phone work?
Yeah, appreciate it, Jacob. Hope you're doing pretty well, man. But yeah, that was a crazy game. The Florida-Texas game, obviously. But I feel like people kind of did see that coming, or at least expected a competitive game because of how bad Texas has been this season and how talented Florida is. So that one I wasn't too shocked by. But yeah, it was a great day of college football, except for the UofL game, obviously.
I was going to say, no, there's no way it was a good day in college football because Louisville lost.
But that was another upset.
I don't give a fuck what else happened. I don't give a fuck what else happened in college football. It was not a good day. It sucked.
Yeah.
Just kind of crazy. It felt like there was a lot of upsets. Was there any other ones in the top 25 that were Cincinnati? Cincinnati did Iowa State in a little bit.
Scott Satterfield's special, man. I mean, they play great. Brendan Sorsby's a perfect quarterback for his system, honestly. They're looking really good.
Which is what, just run the ball 4 times, 5 times?
No, I mean, like he runs it a good bit. But
try one pass every 30 plays, maybe.
No, I mean, if you watch Cincinnati, their offense has actually changed a little bit. It's not – obviously, they still run a lot of pistol, but it's not as heavily reliant on zone runs.
I kid, but I will – and I don't know how much you guys listened to when I was with Rutherford before when Satterfield was there. I was one of the rare people that actually defend Satterfield.
I remember getting mad at you because you were defending him.
And here's the thing, I'm going to defend him here still, even just the partial listen now. Was it not the best match for us and him? No, it wasn't, and it needed to be moved on. But my joy of just extreme 6 to midnight pants explode, yada yada, filling any other, pitch a tent, any other James Vanderbeek slogan you want to use from Varsity Blues to describe it. When he left and was because we were getting Braun. It wasn't as much him leaving, a little bit to do with him leaving, but it was more of who we were getting in a replacement. And how much I don't think I've been shy about it, how much I love Braun and what he can do despite this Saturday, and we'll get into that in a second. But Satterfield, I don't think is a bad coach. The problem with Satterfield is that you saw he can be a decent coach when he had talent. He didn't recruit worth a shit here. And I don't know if he just didn't want to be here. He just got
his recruiting really stepped up.
He used up the talent that he was left, and was a lot of talent on a team that just gave up. That 2-8 that 2-18 team just gave up. I mean, that was not a 2-win team, talent-wise. I mean, we that's obvious. You can't argue that now anymore. But the fact is, he just didn't. It was kind of like Ron Cooper-esque. Like when Cooper came in, he had Sam Madison and guys like that were good on defense that Schnellenberger left him, and he had a solid kind of okay first year. And as those guys just started dwindling away, the wins dwindled away because he wasn't bringing in. I mean, he never played. Cunningham you never even challenged him with bringing anybody in. I mean, unless you want to argue Pierce at the very end, but I mean, even that's not looking good for that kid. I mean,
Yeah, well,
but the
also
point,
too.
I think he's a decent coach. If he has talent, he can do. And Cincinnati's a good fit. Plus the Big 12. I mean, let's be honest. We saw last year the Big 12 is kind of a crapshoot ACC right now as is on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's an awful coach. I never really thought that during
Yeah.
his time here. I definitely do think the fit was poor. I don't think his style of play resonates with the fan base very much, and it doesn't resonate with Cincinnati's fan base either. I mean, they wanted him fired by the end of last season.
Technically, it doesn't resonate with anything past 1996.
Yeah,
But it can
but
still be successful if you do it right, if you have the right talent, though.
you know what could be a saving grace, ironically enough, because he was so loyal to this dipshit, Brian Brown. He's not the defensive coordinator at Cincinnati anymore. This is his first year. He is now the co-defensive coordinator. He's basically a DB's coach at Ole Miss, his alma mater. So now he is not being shackled by Brian Brown running a 3-man rush on 3rd and 2. And it looks like it's going well for him. I mean, I know they lost to Nebraska in a close game. Iowa State, we'll see how good they are at the end of the season, but putting up the amount of points they did on Iowa State is legit. They do have a good defense. But the refs did screw Iowa State pretty badly in that game. And Satterfield, he's going to fuck something up. You just know it's going to happen. So Cincinnati's not going to be some world-beating team, but yeah, I mean they're better than expected, and he might be saving his job right now because
similar to some of the ACC, the Big 12. There's no, I mean, ACC does have Miami, but outside that, Big 12 is. I mean, is there really a team that sticks out? It's just who's going to win, who's going to get the luckiest in all the 50-50 games this year.
yeah, I mean
Like kind of like
BYU looks
Arizona,
really good.
like Arizona State did last year. They just got. I think they just you just had that one team that's going to have a knack, and they're going to win those 50-50 games. Louisville lost one this weekend, and they're going to just kind of have that lucky roll of the football gods dice, I guess you could say.
It's likely right now to be BYU. Bear Bachmeier, the true freshman quarterback who's taken over for Jake Retzloff, has looked really good. Kalani Satake is their coach. I mean, he's pretty consistent. They always have a good defense. So, and
Doesn't sound very Mormon if you ask me, but okay.
Yeah, well, no, he's. I'm pretty sure he's
Pacific. So
Hawaiian.
Yeah, he's Hawaiian. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's a good coach. They have a lot of talent. So I would say BYU right now is the favorite. I mean, if you tried to ask me, Trevor, I totally agree with you. It's an absolute crapshoot. So maybe Texas Tech is actually the favorite besides BYU. So, yeah, Texas Tech, BYU, maybe Cincy, you throw them in right there. But I mean, still teams like Iowa State and even Utah still have a shot.
Here's the sad part: I forgot BYU's even Big 12.
Yeah, like well, I mean, it's only their second year, I think.
Still, I mean, it's just like I can't. It's like trying to figure out how to get on this fucking Zoom chat we're on with my volume working. I mean,
like, this is gonna make me. It's gonna make me throw up here, Roman. Looking at this.
If there is ever a pure example to use a cliche to describe a game in a nutshell, it is that Louisville beat themselves in this game. Plain and simple. I mean, you can't. Just to piggyback on what we're talking about in terms of the Big 12, no one having like that step above talent to where so you're just going to win those 50-50 games and be the winner of the majority of them to be your representative in the playoff bracket. That's what this was for Louisville. That's what Louisville was this year. I mean, listen, Roman was righter than anyone else when he did his predictions at the beginning of the season. God help me for being able to say that without being staticky, but yeah, this was a game. Louisville is not going to have the talent level at any point this season against anyone else. Miami's the only team we're going to be probably a little less talented than. Everyone else is, and give or take, not the difference is not enough either way. That you give 14 points away and you Ray Finkel a kick. You just can't do it at home. On top of it, you can't do it. You're not going to be that. It does not work. And I'm not going to go running for the pitchforks on the coaching staff, but. The positive note to this is that in a world where transfer portal is that like this can all be replaced in one season, and it's going to have to be because this is a big swing and miss on this transfer portal class with some of these. And when I say some of them, I don't mean everyone, obviously, but it's not a good mix.
Go ahead, Will.
I mean, I have a lot of thoughts, so I'm going to try to keep the first set of thoughts as brief as
Yeah,
possible.
let's go into game specific first.
Yeah, so, I mean, Trevor put it pretty well. I mean, this is a grade A example in beating yourself. And I kind of compared it to the Ravens. People in the Ravens fan base, they say nobody beats the Ravens but the Ravens. And that's true most of the time. This game was a perfect example of that. I mean, Virginia couldn't even get 250 yards of offense, and they had 30 points on the road. And our offense, whether you want to blame Miller Moss, whether you want to blame the offensive line, the coaching staff, the running back injuries, what have you, it wasn't good enough. If a guy like Chris Bell is getting 12 catches and 150 yards and even had 120 in the first half and is unguardable, you force feed him until they force you to not throw the ball to him every play. Because even in the second half, he had plenty of opportunities that we gave him in the fourth quarter, but in the third quarter, we went away from it. God knows why. Miller Moss was horrible. I would say start of the game, perfect. But with him, it's kind of like the Sam Darnold quote, like I was seeing ghosts out there. He's great until he hears those footsteps, and he not actually hears them coming after him, but in his head, and he panics like no other. I said on Running with Roman today that Jack Plummer had some really terrible turnovers. Miller Moss is worse. And it's not like he's a less talented player, but he just has this very Jekyll and Hyde nature of play where he'll look really good and then he'll just be absolute dog shit. I mean, a really underrated play I haven't heard anybody talk about was late in the game when he stepped up in the pocket, made a great move to avoid the pressure and step into his throw, threw down the field on a post route to Jaleel Skinner, who cooked his man. Underthrown ball, should have been intercepted because it looked like it was thrown into double coverage, but that was only because it was thrown 10 yards short. You can't underthrow that ball. That was a walk-in touchdown for Skinner, and it just didn't happen. Obviously, the pick six he threw, he should have thrown another one. It was just very disappointing. The run game, I don't really blame us because we have so many injuries, but the offensive line has to be better. That is on the coaching staff. The play calling has to be better. That is on the coaching staff. And we tend to lose in the same fashion every time. And it's on us to fix it.
I want to say one thing. I think horrible might be too harsh. I don't think Moss is horrible. He's not a great quarterback, obviously.
No, I'm not saying
he's definitely not a guy that's going to. And the problem is, he's definitely not a guy that can carry a team at any point.
I mean, at times he did it. He did in the Pittsburgh game in the fourth quarter. And I'm not saying he's a horrible quarterback. I'm saying his decision making at times is downright stupid as shit, and I don't know what he's thinking.
And the ghost thing, I think I agree with you mainly because listen, like you said, our running game has been that's been a ghost. Yeah. Now you can say the injuries with the running backs, and there have been. We can look at the offensive line. Whatever you want to point, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is the running game has been completely inexistent. And I mean, you wonder. I mean, what if last year's team didn't have this kind of running game? Would Chuck had the team that season? He'd probably had to run around too a little more. Like Moss, Moss hasn't had any kind of help with he needs to have the pressure taken off of him. Mm-hmm. And that's the case. Brom, again, you're right, the play calling needs to change, and it needs to – at some point you can only do so much. I mean, you can try to change so many. And thankfully, even with our talent level being a lot less than what I was hoping it would be going into the season, at certain points or spots that are definitely affecting it. The defense is playing well. I thought it played well in Virginia in that game. You mentioned that was a Virginia team. They could put up points, and they put up half their points came as a result of our gifts. So, I mean, I thought the defense did as good as I would like to maybe snuffed out those screen because once they did the one screenplay, it was it's like they fell in love with screen. Like,
they did it every third down.
I made the horrible joke to Rutherford on text with the rim shot thing. It was such a bad dad joke. I was like. They look like an out of work waiter at Starbucks in LA with some of these screenplays. I mean, it's As that, I mean, and it's still, and finally Louisville kind of caught on a little bit and slowed it down. But at first, once they hit that first one, they're like, "Hey, they're just going to blitz us," because that's what Ron English does. He's like, "Well, we're going to do screen." But when it comes to the offense, it's just we can't. It doesn't matter. If you're going to give away 14 points and technically 17, because we did, like I said, we Ray Finkeled that one snap. That's on the kicker. That was on the snapper. And that's 17 points you've given away. This team's not that good. I mean, this should be a 7 or 8 win team, and that's, I guess, fine. Our expectations were a little higher than that. It should have been maybe, but the reality is it's probably going to be a 7, 8 win team. They'll go to a bowl. Hopefully they'll look good in the bowl, but other than that, that's just where we're at. We'll probably get treated, very poorly at Miami. I don't know what PC way do you talk about date rate, but that's what's going to happen.
and the chatter, look for the helpers, makes a good point as well, Trevor, and kind of like what you're talking about originally, the run game just lacking.
It's not lacking; it's non-existent.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're right. Talking about having some of the younger backs, kind of like a Braxton Jennings or a Sean Boykins, who got carries early in the season but didn't or haven't since our bye games. I mean, Braxton Jennings looked the part, and honestly, I would rather have him out there fighting his ass off than Isaac Brown, who's not healthy enough to run or block in the passing game. And Duke Watson, I mean, he's giving it everything he's got. He's just getting killed every game. And Kewan Brown, I mean,
wasn't it the EKU game the backups played those minutes though? I mean,
they did. They played against Bowling Green as well.
Yeah. That's the same level. I agree though. Give him a shot though. If Brown's hurt, I mean, you might as well, because the offensive line isn't helping it much, and Brown's not a guy that's gonna. He's not John Riggins out there. He's not Derrick Henry. He's a guy that he's Gale Sayers. He needs that 15 seconds of daylight, and he's fucking gone. That's all he needs is 7 seconds of daylight. I think is what it was. Is a famous quote was.
So one thing for me, guys, I've starting to realize that I've been noticing is that I haven't been surprised by anything I've seen out of Miller Moss yet. I was not high on him. I saw enough in the last couple of games that he did play before he was benched where he earned that benching to an extent. And it's tough because I feel like it's two situations where his skill set just isn't suited for what he has to do, right? And that sucks because he came here for the opposite of that. He just had to deal with that. He wanted literally the opposite. Let me go into a more of a game managing role, right? I only have to throw in short throw situations because everybody else on the field is doing the work for me type of a role. And perfect skill set for that kind of a role if you gave him an offensive line where that could be the case, meaning you've got skill positions on the outside, you've got multiple tight ends who can block and catch, and you've got multiple running backs who can do basically everything for you. Miller Moss, ideally in that perfect world, would be not the perfect quarterback, but a great quarterback. He has all of the tools to be a great quarterback in that scenario. That's what he thought he was coming here to. Now, I'm not saying that lets him off the hook for everything that we've seen. Not even saying that a little bit. What I am saying is we have to realize that this team and this offense is nearly flipped completely from what we thought we would see, right? Granted, we knew we had some question marks at offensive line, but based on what we saw at the halfway point of last year and on, we had no real reason to worry about how this coaching staff deals with an offensive line, right? You got a couple guys from the transfer portal now. You've lost a couple of guys to the transfer portal. A couple guys kind of making that jump up to playing, not really ready for it now. You bring in a transfer portal quarterback who all of his weaknesses are things that are engraved. This is the one issue with the 5th year, 6th year, 7th year senior bullshit, Trevor. His bad tendencies, he's a grown man now. He's not a
they're not changing.
He's not a sponge. He's not somebody who's going to just get it now. He's what he is, right? And you have to put him in an offense that minimizes that. That's what we thought this was going to be, and it hasn't been that. Injuries, guys not practicing fully, not being able to play fully. Granted, I don't know what it's caused, but we know there's been some issues on the offensive line to start the season off that have created other issues, and then injuries topped it off, right?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just like this coaching staff felt like where they were surprised maybe we did lose some offensive linemen. I know they got it the Virginia. I think did he go to Virginia? The left tackle that
Monroe
kind of left.
Mills. Yeah, he tore his
Yeah.
ACL though.
Well, let's call him. Yeah, I didn't say it. I mean, I don't know. Roman basically says this coaching staff, I think, brought Miller Moss in expecting or at least hoping to that he's going to be a guy that's going to be in the pocket, out of play action, you know, not having to bootleg him because that's not his strength. When he gets to stay in the pocket, he's not short of the pass, the play you described where he underthrew Skinner. And when he stays in the pocket, he can be effective. I mean, he's not perfect, but he's definitely at his best game. When you have to move him and stuff, and you have to with this offensive line, he clearly is not just. And the decision making, you said, Will, you brought it up. I mean, it's just there's no excuse for that. And to piggyback on Roman said, the guy's like 26. I mean, he is what he is. I mean, you're not gonna teach him anything new. You can't teach no dog new trick. That's what we've got. And the grass isn't green on the other side. We can play with the running back names and putting some of those guys in. I'm okay with that. But I mean, it's Miller Moss unless he gets injured. I mean, there's no other. Brady Allen sure as hell ain't gonna be the answer. I mean, if
he sucks.
Yeah, he'd be in the game by now, or he'd have left. Deuce is. I don't know. I mean, I would know. I don't want to put the season on the line in his hands personally, but so I would say we just gotta. Like you said, Will, this coach staff's gonna have to change some things around to fit more the strengths of what we have, which is a lot less than we expected. But the good part is, there's outside of Miami, is there really a team that you can say should be better than us? I mean, Clemson doesn't scare. I mean, SMU hasn't scared me. I mean, Virginia Tech.
No.
I mean,
I see. Here's my issue. People keep saying that, and I don't think it's registering that we're not good.
The thing is, we can lose all those games. Those are what we call 50-50 games. I mean, you can lose those games. And you saw an example. You know how you lose a 50-50 game, especially at home? You turn the ball over twice for 14 points. That's how you lose a 50-50 game at home. I don't think this team's going to do that often, though. I hope
gifted
not.
Points to Pitt. You gifted points to Virginia. This defense has set you up for success. Consistently, this defense has set you up for success, has given you what you've needed, has given you the platform to have the opportunity, and they haven't capitalized. Miller Moss is not in a role he's cut out for. He doesn't have the ability to do it. Jeff Brom and this coaching staff, they actually aren't good game managers themselves either.
See, I'll disagree, because I think the difference between the Pitt and the Virginia game, the 50-50 games that they both gave away points in, is that I like Virginia's coach. He's a good coach. Pittsburgh's coach sucks. Branduzzi's past his time, and Brom is just out coached. Is a better coach than he is. And I think that would be the difference in that 50-50 game.
See, but the thing is, like, penalties leading to 3 and outs is giving points away in my eyes. It's no different. It's boneheaded bullshit mistakes leading to giving the ball over in better field position than you should have to. Granted, it's not just straight up giving points. It's not the same as a turnover, but it's just 2 games in a row where your own unforced issues have costed you. Granted, it didn't cost you a loss against Pitt, but it costed you in the first half of that game. It costed you some momentum. So, you were punching in the second half, and you could have punched harder a few times, if there was just a little bit more clean football. We can't play clean football. Miller Moss isn't in a role he's cut out for. Jeff Brom is still being plagued by this overthinking bullshit. This short yardage decision making and play calling is just you don't pitch on fourth. You don't throw the ball in the air in the backfield on 4th and 1, Will. And if you do, you definitely only do that on the goal line. That's football, right? When you're getting sacked, when the sack is 65% complete, you don't throw the ball. You're not Patrick Mahomes, little things. There's just little things that if it's not Miller, it's Jeff, and that's not even something that we can really fix at this point. They're both cut out in their ways. There's clearly a disconnect with Miller Moss's ability to truly gather what the play call needs to be in a timely fashion and be confident in his ability to go read the defense with that play call, right? He gets happy feet. He gets in his own head. He retreats in the pocket, and he gets lost in the pocket. Fellas, at that age, you shouldn't be getting lost in your own pocket. You should be in a pocket that's not fully breaking down. you look around and you don't even know how to get out of it, and you have to take a sack because you don't have peripheral vision because you're looking at one receiver downfield the entire play. Like it's little things like that. That's freshman stuff.
I mean,
That
Moss
that
is what he is. He's there's a dozen Miller Moss. He's in the kids the way I guess to speak to the kids, in college, but he's like a 77 rated. Like you can get that quarterback in anywhere in the country. I mean, that's just what he
Miller's
is.
a 77.
He's an overall 77. That's what he is overall. Yeah, he's got decent.
Well-
yeah, I mean, he's an overall 77.
What's his highest attribute?
Would probably be his short throw accuracy.
I was gonna say, well, and going back to the point you made, Roman, about Miller Moss and his expectations coming into the season, I think that is the key point, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I think that's where we need to give him some grace because he came from USC, like you said, expecting to have more of a game managing role where the onus was not going to be like he wasn't going to be counted on to win or lose a game by himself.
Oh, thank God.
And this offseason, all we talked about was he's going to be better. We have one of the best running games in the country. We have a good offensive line. He's not going to have to worry about that. And those were the same issues that plagued him at USC, was having to throw the ball 50 times a game. When you throw the ball 50 times a game, that's 50 chances to throw an interception. So now we're in this same situation where he has arguably worse offensive line protection and running back help. It is on him. We threw the ball 51 fucking times against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh lost to West Virginia.
99 throw attempts in 2 games. Will.
Okay, first of all, Pittsburgh sucks. Okay, I think
they do.
Yeah, they're bad.
But to 48 rushing attempts, and that tells me, because this is the offensive makeup is more of a Brom Purdue team, throwing the ball around. And the difference was they threw the ball around because they had good quarterback play and good receiver play. We're throwing the ball around right now because we have no alternative that'll be successful.
I mean, we're still going to try to run the ball. But I mean,
we try, but it doesn't work that well. We have some plays where
I don't
we get
have
positive gains, but
like how many carries? What was the carry numbers in the Virginia game? I don't have the stats in front of me, so because I'm doing this on my phone and I don't.
I'll have to look it up. But it wasn't much.
No, I'm not saying the yardage was good.
We had 27 carries for 54 yards to our 48 pass attempts.
27 carries is what I was saying. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see a little more, but I mean, you can only. I mean, he hasn't completely given up, I don't think, yet. I mean, they're going to still try to run the ball. And so the problem is they're going to have to pick and choose. It just can't be like last year where the line was good enough where you knew you could run the ball on first and second and go hat on a hat and be successful. They're going to have to pick and choose when to make the play calls and and what run plays they do call at certain times. I mean, they're going to have to mix it up a little more, obviously.
I'm not saying that we've abandoned the run game. I'm just saying the run game sucks.
Oh, it does.
It's trash.
You're going to have to start incorporating some direct snaps to Colin Lacey. 4th and 1, it needs to be a QB sneak until it doesn't work. I don't think it's not worked once this season. I think it's like 5 for 5 or 6 for 6.
Well, we scored.
If I'm being honest, fellas.
Well,
I just mean every time we run it, we've gotten the 1 or 2 yards that we've needed. There's so many ways to minimize the ability for errors. Like why are you running
We've already tried though. Honestly, I mean, think about it. Colin Lacey gets several end around attempts or anything that puts him on the boundary. That's a rushing attempt. He gets those several times a game, and they never work. And that's either the blocking is terrible and the execution sucks, or Colin Lacey isn't fast enough to bend the corner.
The jet sweep worked just on the first one, and then the end around was just terrible, which those never work.
They don't, and I don't know why we keep calling them. Kind of like you said, maybe it's out of desperation. But NC State averaged 6.5 yards a carry against Virginia. We averaged 2. NC State is not a good team, and they averaged 4.5 more yards per carry than we did. And we came into the season thinking we were going to have a top 10 rushing offense in the country. Hell, one of my bold predictions was that Louisville was going to lead the ACC in rushing yards. They're not going to finish top 10. This is bad. And it comes back to the coaching staff. I mean, like you said, we felt confident in the roster makeup. I was worried about the offensive line. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I thought we were going to have a great running game. It's, like I just said, not top 10 in the ACC. Miller Moss is what it is. The receivers are pretty good. Chris Bell's an NFL-level receiver. He's shown it against Power 4 competition. He was perfect yesterday. But the difference in these games, Trevor, you talked about it. We won the game against Pittsburgh with better coaching. I mean, Pat Narduzzi had to call a timeout because he couldn't decide whether or not to go for it on 4th and 7. Wasted a timeout, gave us a break, and he got booed for it.
He's 1 foot in the fishing boat right now. He's ready to he's ready to go take the job at Fox and left over by Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, and now Tony Elliott, on the other hand, who was a dead man walking for a while, had a lot of investment into his football program, now is reaping the benefits of that and showing that he can coach. Just outcoach Jeff Brom. I mean, there are several examples you can think of right off the top of my head. Roman, you talked about it, the 4th and 2 pitch. That was really stupid. Having Miller Moss have to throw the ball 50 times. That was really dumb. Not force feeding Chris Bell in the third quarter and really just the second half in general was really dumb because Virginia didn't make any adjustments.
To be fair, it was weird. They started putting this every time he was running a deeper route, the safety had to stay on his side now. They were not letting him run deep routes one-on-one.
He got help, but he couldn't guard him still.
Yeah. Plus, I get what y'all are saying about force feeding him, but he did have 12 catches. I mean, it's not like the guy didn't eat.
I don't give a shit. Give him 20. If you can't guard him,
do it. He had 8 of those in the first half.
And why don't they stat targets in college football sometimes? I never could find the target stat. It's stupid. Why put that out there?
But kicking the field goal in overtime, that is a sin to me. And just having an overall lack of awareness. That is always the thing with Jeff Brom, in my opinion. That's his biggest deficiency as a coach, is not having awareness, whether that's clock management, personnel, play calling, and just situational football. He sucks at.
The backup comes in, and Jamari Taylor and the backup are shoulder to shoulder. They're touching in pistol, just how they were when he got the direct snap the last time and got the first down.
Yeah,
you know what's like. I'm sorry. Does anybody questioning if a direct snap's coming there at all? Like, it's the backup. They're not putting the ball in the backup's hand. If anything, it's an immediate handoff to Jamari Taylor. Why is every player's eyes not on Jamari Taylor when the backup's in the game there? And if a touchdown wins the game, that's just, not understanding what the moment is. It feels like every time when it's in critical moments.
That was a defense that looked like their spirit was broken and they were just tapped out. By the time that play happened. But Will, I agree. With the kicking the field goal in overtime, I wouldn't want to, but our defense had played, I think, well enough. Even giving the ball to 25, you can't not take that field goal. I mean, you got to take the points.
You had to take the points.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
I hated it, Will.
Totally
I thought it was defeat
That's
too.
fine.
As soon as we did it, I thought there's our defeat right there. But you have to.
You don't know that because the defense had played well. I mean, for the love of God, again, if it wasn't for the offensive errors, the defense played more than better than it needed to do to win this game.
Will, do you trust the play call? Do you trust the play call if we don't take the field goal?
It's not that I don't trust the play call. It's just, to me, in principle, that's what you have to do. You have to be under the assumption, because if your defense is playing well, then in your mind, you're like, okay, well, if we go for it here, there's still a chance that we get the stop on defense if we don't get it. But
yeah, you lose anyway.
That's probably not going to happen. But still, it's like you're at home. You have shot yourself in the foot so many times, and you have the chance to take the lead for the first time, and really get control of the game and put the pressure on Virginia, which we had not done at all. We were fighting and clawing back the entire game. You have one play, 4th and 2. Actually, in that game, we were good in short yardage. The only time we sucked was when we tried to toss that dumbass pitch that resulted in the scoop and score. That's also coming back to Jeff Brom's lack of awareness. We were actually good in short yardage situations against Virginia.
I don't know if the rollout to Isaac in overtime though.
Well, two's a little.
That was a dumbass play call. Why are you running a play action with only 2 routes and you still are giving up an unblocked edge player on a
when Jaleel Skinner's been getting open the entire game?
Dumb as shit. That was you have a tight end, Nate Krisky and Isaac Brown. Those are your options. You're rolling a guy out to his weak side with an unblocked defender and 2 guys that are not your top tier pass catchers. That's dumb as shit. And we almost got the first down out of it.
That was Brian's call, probably.
Go for it. No, I mean, Jeff calls the plays. You got to go for it. And I feel like Jeff decides to go for it on 4th down when he shouldn't, and then gets cold feet when he needs to do the exact opposite. You got to play to win the game. We didn't. Great, we got a field goal. We won it by 3 points. Lost the game immediately after. It took 3 fucking plays for them to win the game. You go on offense. You go down swinging. Otherwise, you're going to get knocked out. That's what happens.
See, I don't know. I get your point, but I could say, well, what if the first play by Virginia was an interception after the kicking a field goal, then we win the game by 3. But if you don't get that if you don't convert that first down, they just run the ball 3 times in the middle, kick a field goal, and your defense doesn't even really get a chance to even make it to win the game for you. The defense played well enough. I had no problem with trusting the defense in the 25. It didn't work out, but I was okay with that decision. Now the pitch play, I don't know. We've run that a few times this year, and
never works.
It's never been that bad, but it never works. But then again, what running plays really have worked that well this year?
Yeah, true.
We've
got some time off now, as does Miami. They're going to be having their bye week as well, but we will be seeing them, October 17th?
That's a Friday night in South Beach.
What do we think about this? I mean, I don't even want to do the whole, hypothetically, if we win, what does our season look like? Hypothetically, if we lose, what does our season look like? But are we feeling confident about the potential chance of beating Miami? Do we think that there's a chance of success? Maybe if let's go the hypothetical, then we lose to Miami and then run the table on the rest of our schedule.
That's a good season.
Well, that would be that would be just only 2 losses. That would be 10 wins. I mean,
yeah. You never complain about that.
Ever. And we wouldn't we probably wouldn't make the ACC title game.
No,
right now, to me, this is, like I said, a 7-8 win team.
I don't think we're that bad. I
don't even think that's bad. I love the fact that Louisville, we're like winning 8 games is bad. I mean, 8 games used to be hard on his hair.
8 games with this roster. 8 games with this roster.
Well, this roster, yeah.
On this roster with this schedule is not good.
Yeah,
this is a great roster.
I mean, on paper. I mean, last season we had a great roster, an even better roster than this one, and won 8 games. You had Quincy Riley, you had Ashton Gelati, you had Tyler Shuck. You had all the talent you brought back this season back. You had one of the best run games in the ACC.
But you also played the 3 best teams in the ACC last year.
Yeah, but you lost to the worst one too. So at the end of the day, it's
the Stanford excuse.
Somebody made a great point too about Indiana, is that Curt Cignetti, when they play teams that are worse than them, they beat the shit out of them. Kind of like Bobby Petrino used to do. Jeff Brom.
Not necessarily week 1. Old Dominion hung with them a little bit.
What was the score of that game?
20-7.
It was like 23-7, I think.
And to be fair, Old Dominion's a good team. They're not a bad team. They've been good in their conference. Yeah. They didn't cover last week, but it's still.
More often than not, they blow the doors off teams that are worse than they are, like Bobby did, like I just said. But Jeff Brom, think about how many one-score games, whether we won them or lost them, that we've been involved in. I don't care if they were bowl teams, playoff teams, or below 500
last
teams.
Year.
A lot of them. We've already been involved. Really, James Madison should have been a one-score game. Ended up winning by 2 touchdowns, but that could have been a one-score game. Pittsburgh was, Virginia was. Last year, like you just said, there were several.
Boston
more
College.
Than several in 2023. So it's great that you had the medal and the ability to make the plays necessary to win, but we just don't need to be in that situation most of the times. I don't know if that's Jeff not game planning well enough, not getting the guys prepared well enough, but this team, we didn't seem ready to fight from the jump. This season, like we said in our last pod, it felt a little off. Just the vibes around the team, that has continued. Even though we came back against Pitt, when we first started the game against Virginia, the defense was playing well, but the offense, it just felt like something was a little bit off. Even though they were playing decently, I'm never going to question their ability to fight back. They never give up. So that's one thing you got to give them credit for. But you also have to question, why are they getting down in the first place?
Yeah.
So
sometimes just other teams got talent too.
They didn't even get 250 yards on us, Trevor.
No, we gave the game away. We gave this game away.
As I'm saying, it's like that sometimes is often.
We lost on 2 plays. Two. I know you went to overtime and yada yada, but we lost this game because of 2 plays. A botched pitch, and which was just a bad call and maybe shouldn't have happened. But the worst one was the Moss pick 6. Because on top of the timing of that, remind me again, but when the game tied when that happened?
call a timeout, though. You also see two receivers on the wrong side of the ball, unsure of what's going on. That when you just had a great methodical drive, you haven't had one of those against all season long. It felt like a drive with no penalties, moving the ball up the field consistently. It gets to a fourth down that you're willing to go for, and then pre-snap, it's hectic, it's chaos. Call a timeout. 6 minutes left in the quarter.
That Moss pick six. That's something that if you're down 21, okay, I get it. You're trying to make something happen. But what was the? Will you remind me?
It was a tie game. It was a tie
okay,
game.
Yeah, it was the third quarter, correct? And late third. Yeah, it was a stupid thing to do, and I know he knows it was stupid, and hopefully he won't ever do it again. But it was what literally cost the game. The other one didn't help either, and the botched field goal didn't help.
And Miami's pass rush is coming too,
and
man.
There was like 9 penalties, and mostly didn't help. Chris Bell acting like he's shooting off an Uzi doesn't help. I mean, there's stupid little things, and
but
talent, and like I talked about with the Big 12, the Louisville talent level is not going to be that much better than anybody else they play. Now they're not as good as Miami. It looks like. Now the good thing about Miami is Mike Cristobal, I still think he's a moron. And there's one hope for Louisville on Friday night is that they might not go and beat Miami, but Miami will beat themselves, and we know that they can do that.
They're different this year.
The talent might negate that.
They might be.
I just want to ask. I want you all to ask yourselves because I feel like I've been a broken record with this lately. When we talk about it's just one or two plays that lost us the game. I mean, we said the same thing against Kentucky in 2023, against Florida State in the ACC championship. Last year, Miami, SMU, Notre Dame, Stanford, all 4 losses. A couple plays lost us the game.
First of all, I can't never defend Stanford. A couple
plays let us beat Indiana in 23. Let us beat Georgia Tech in both years. Let us beat Pittsburgh last week. It's
Boston College last year.
Yeah, it's not what it should be. Like, you can't just say, well, it's just a couple plays. Why are we in that position to start with? If it's a frequent thing where it's happening in more than half of the games that we're playing, whether they're power conference or not, that is a red flag. I love Jeff Brom. Like I said, I'm not trying to advocate for him to be fired, but you have to ask these questions. Why are we in these positions? Why can't we be better prepared? Why do we have terrible play calling and situational football? Why do our guys play to the level of competition? Those are all valid questions that we don't have answers to 2.5 seasons in, and nothing has improved on that front. Arguably, it's gotten worse. So
maybe there's something to do with like getting a job, getting an such a influx of higher level talent. Maybe took away some aspects of his coaching. Maybe he doesn't think he has to amp guys up because he's getting top level ACC talent. Like, you're bringing in Clev Lubins, you're bringing in guys like that. He thinks everybody maybe is a Clev Lubin mentality up here because he's playing at this level.
If he thinks that, then he's an idiot because Nick Saban was getting NFL rosters. And
first of all, those days are long gone in the transfer portal.
Well, I know, but I'm saying those days of coaching is still the same.
Yeah, well, no, because one of the best things that has been affected, especially the SECs and your Georgias and your Alabamas, the transfer portal has, it's taken away that depth that they had. It used to be where they could wear down during the season, it didn't matter. Their second, third, and fourth strings could start on most teams. Those kids aren't hanging around anymore. The only school that's keeping them is Ohio State for some reason. Well, we know why, but I mean, Ohio, they're the only ones that can keep the depth. So, I mean, you're not going to get you can't use it. It's two different worlds now. And not to make an 80s sitcom reference. But it's funny, Will, because you, of all people, have preached your defense to me of Matt Campbell and Iowa State and Kirk Ferentz at Iowa. I mean, remind me again, burnout, old man here. What's Jeff Brom's win totals at Louisville his tenure here?
23-9.
Read them off yearly for me.
10-4, 9-4, 4-1 right now.
Okay. What's the fuck's the problem? I mean,
it is
other than the fact the expectations were too high for this team going into the season, and unfortunately, it's not as good as we hoped it would be. That's still bad. This team walks away with 8 wins, 9-win season. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Is it not? I mean,
you've got a 10-win. You've got 10 to 11 win defense. You've got 10 to 11 win skill position players.
Yeah,
a lot of people have good. A lot of people have those.
It's not the record itself, and
I think the only ones.
I think that we should not let ourselves get tied up in the fact that, oh, well, we won 10 games, we won 9 games, and now we'll probably win 8 or 9 games again. Like, yeah, that's good for what we had with Satterfield and overall for our history. But if we're serious about becoming a better program, you should.
Satterfield won 8 games back to back?
No.
Okay.
Well, I said Satterfield sucks. You have.
Well, no.
I said he sucks.
You were comparing being accepting this like accepting Satterfield. Satterfield wasn't this consistent even.
No, we didn't. We didn't accept it. All I'm saying is that when Jeff Brom was hired, we expected to go to a different level because we think he's a different level of a coach. And you have to look inside the records because, like I mentioned, it is the way we lose every time and the fact that it's so fucking frustrating the way that we lose because of the context around our team and our coaching staff. We should not have lost to Pittsburgh by 17 fucking points in 2023. We should not have lost to Kentucky in 2023. We shouldn't have let Miller Moss throw for 6 touchdowns on us and only scored 6 points against Florida State. We showed the ability to be a top-level team, and when push came to shove, we folded like a lawn chair. Last season, we had 3 golden opportunities to get top 10 wins. What happened every time? Folded like a lawn chair, whether it was the defense being terrible, being awful in situational football, or just not showing up to play. You couldn't do it. You have these opportunities, and sometimes the frustration for me is that you can beat a team like Notre Dame. You can handle them, give them 2 yards a carry when they have Jeremiah Love, Jadarion Price, and I'm forgetting on the Audric Estime, who's an NFL back. You can go to Clemson last season, kick their ass on the road, and then the next week lose to Stanford, who went 3-9 last season and looked horrible doing it. The inconsistency, the bad situational football, the bad situational awareness in general, the horrible clock management. I'm not even saying that Jeff Brom is a bad coach. All I'm saying is for us to be serious about football, we're having this conversation right now because we think we want to be serious about having a good football program. We're fans of a team that we expect to succeed, especially against a bad schedule. And when you don't, I don't care if you're 11-1 or if you're 8-4. It is the way you win or lose games that matters the most. And for our 3 seasons, it hasn't been.
This is still Louisville, and for what Brom is doing here at Louisville is as good as you're going to. I mean, I'm not saying as good as you're going to get. Louisville's still not going to be those teams that's going to consistently be a 10-12 win season. Not right away, especially, and probably not in today's football era. Not in the way the transfer portal is built, but the way everything's going rotating every year. Louisville's a school that, listen, you're going to have to. If you're staying 8 wins plus every year, then, I mean, now granted they built stats for everybody now, but put the statue out there because what you want is that special year in between. You want that 2005 year that Petrino had, or that what was the other year the year we should have beat Miami, the Kerry Rhodes year, 2004, 2014. Those special years, those will come. It's not this year, obviously, but they will come. And in between, when you're winning 8-9 games regularly, I don't see. Listen, I understand there's frustration losing to Stanford. I can't make an excuse for that. But
Trevor, here's my thing. Trevor, here's the issue though. When you've proven and shown you can consistently go play at a high level, you can go beat teams that are capable of playing at an extremely, extremely high level. You have to ask yourself, what does it take to get over the hump, right? One aspect of getting over the hump is not losing to teams that don't have a roster better than you or a coach better than you. Will, what's the record the last 2 years if we win the games against teams that we're better than?
Probably last year 10-2.
And where do we go actually?
8-4. But and beyond that,
the year before that, it would have been 11-3.
Who other Stanford did we lose to last year that we shouldn't have we shouldn't have lost to? Who am I forgetting?
I mean, no, all 3 of those games, they were 1-score games, but it's like SMU definitely was one.
Well, SMU had that year where they were winning every 50-50 games. I mean, they had that special year.
Yeah, but I mean, like
every game that they was close
we were favored. We were favored in that
game. Yeah, and it was a close game, and it went their way. I remember the game. Yeah, it was frustrating.
So, but it's not even that.
Was that the fumble on the goal line? Or no, that was Miami.
Yeah, well, it was. We forced a fumble, and they overturned it.
That's right.
And they ended up scoring, and we lost by a touchdown because of that.
They said he was down, and it was his shin.
Yeah, that was bullshit. And Trevor, it's like you don't want to accept the mediocrity just because you think that we're not on the
Are you
level. Hold
saying
on.
winning 8-9 wins is mediocrity?
When Kurt Signetti is taking Indiana fucking football to a playoff in his first season, is now 7th in the country in his second one.
Oh
Matt
my God,
Campbell, like you brought up Matt Campbell.
Funny.
He's been at Iowa State for almost 10 years now. They were a nothing burger of a football program. He's taken them to multiple New Year's Six bowls, and they just played in the Big 12 championship last year. Like,
played the ACC title game just the year before last.
Yeah, we sucked. We were horrible. And
did Iowa State win the Big 12 title game?
But in that season, too, you lost to Kentucky by having 2 fumbles in the fourth quarter and a kick 6 in the third quarter. Like, you sold that game away against your rival.
Jared Verse single-handedly beat us that game. If you don't notice,
yeah, Willie Tyler was put on his ass multiple times. Jared Verse is a great player, but that's neither here nor there. I was very happy with year 1. I was disappointed in year 2. Right now, I'm honestly okay with year 3. Like, all this sounds super negative, but I'm just asking legitimate, valid questions because if we want to move forward as a football program, if we want to be serious about our positioning in the ACC and to be able to compete for a 12-team, probably soon to be 14 or 16-team playoff, these questions have to be answered. Because if not, we're still going to be talking every single year about missed opportunities and frustrating losses because we, unlike many teams that hold themselves to a high standard, tend to lose games by ourselves, not from our opponents. So when you have losses like that, it frustrates you as a fan base and makes you ask yourself, why can't we get over that hump consistently?
I don't think if that's the case, and I wouldn't blame it on the coaching as much as I would maybe just the evaluation of your transfer portal class.
That's the coaching, though, and it's the same results with different rosters.
It's part of coaching, and it's a different world, and we're going to have to get used to. We're still in a novice stage of this transfer world of college football, where
we're in a world of college football.
Even a young guy like Brom who came, he comes up in where you build teams. This is still new to him as well, and it's like the 3-point line in '87. Hell, Denny Crum didn't even acknowledge it until '92.
He's done a good job with the portal, though. Like, he is adjusted. He has. We use NIL well. We utilize the transfer portal where our high school classes are improving.
Unfortunately, that's going to be some misses in the offensive line this year.
Yeah, that's not a knock I have on Jeff Brom at all. I know some people were mad about high school recruiting. I am totally fine with his roster construction in his first 3 years. I have no issues with him really whatsoever. I think that's one of the better things he's done. But we're now in an era, like you said, teams are losing depth to go to other teams to play. That is helping teams like Louisville. We are a beneficiary of the transfer portal, and we're not cashing in on that.
It can be a blessing and a curse, though. It can't. I mean, look at how many guys on Virginia starting defense played for us last year.
How many of them are transfer portal guys, and now they're a top 20 team? When last year they were the bottom of the ACC.
Sometimes you just got to find that right mix.
They invested in their NIL fund and thereby their roster, and now have a really good team. We should have beat them, but they have a very good team.
I guess my one defense would be I'm thankful that in a year that we have maybe more misses than we do hits in terms of transfer portal, we have a coach like Brom who's going to get the most out of it, which is still going to be 7-8 wins. Satterfield went 3 games with this team.
Yeah, you're totally right. I agree with you completely.
Now he can't miss back-to-back years. I'll give you that, but he's got to be able to, and then maybe he'll miss, and we ACC suck even more next year. You're going to miss some. I mean, not everybody's going to hit. With all the guys coming in and out of the portal, you're going to have a bad evaluation at some point.
But that's what the depth for. That's what your high school recruiting.
There's no depth.
But because you haven't built up anybody over 2 or 3 years that you think might be able to play, Mm-hmm. You haven't. I get. He's only having he's only had a true year and a half now. Like, he's only had a true year and a half of being able to really incorporate recruiting. You just now got the big dog. Things are subject to change, and we have seen that already just in the last 6 months. But with that being said, it's still on you to go get your guys ready to play for what you need to go do. Like, you've got to go vet the guys that need you to come play your brand of football. He didn't do that perfectly. He hasn't done that perfectly, and we've seen it. We've had guys leave and come and want to come get their NIL and go and not come play. Not as many as other schools have had, and not as big of issues.
Tyler Barron, Wesley Walker, Amari Huggins, Bruce. Now we had the rumored issues with Isaac Brown and Duke Watson, Devin Neal. I mean, there are so many examples. I do think, though, I will give Jeff credit.
Didn't Huggins Bruce come back?
Exactly. Yeah, he left for NIL, ended up coming back. But Jeff doesn't tolerate the bullshit. That is one thing I love about him, is that he stands his ground, and he's like, hey, if you want to be a locker room issue for money reasons, get the fuck out. I'll pack your bags for you.
Yeah,
That is the mentality you have to have.
The running back that went to Central Florida was a big example of that.
Yeah, Penny Boone. You got to have that mentality. And I'm so happy he does have that, which is why he's been able to get these good transfer portal classes and utilize the NIL efficiently. But it's not the off the field stuff that's the issue with me.
And I think we've done a good job, at least especially in the skill position players, of growing guys. Obviously, you can't argue that with Isaac Brown in the recruiting class last year.
Yeah.
But where we are the most affected by this portal has been on the offensive defensive line, which is also probably the most important thing in the game, which doesn't talk about stuff. And unfortunately, he's had three classes of the transfer portal on both sides, and this is the one out of six total, one miss, and that's the offensive line this year. Because I wouldn't say the defensive line's a miss in the transfer portal this year. I think he did a good job in the transfer portal with the defensive line last year with the guy from Harvard and other players that came in. Even that fat dude from Arizona State. It took finally showed up once in a while.
It took him a while last year, but the defensive line
and the offensive line obviously was solid with the transfer portal last year. Solid enough that most of them left him in other places. And this was just he swung and missed on it this year, and he's going to have to build around it, work around it, and hopefully.
Well, a lot of the offensive line are guys that are back. They just suck, and they didn't suck last year. So that just like Trevante Sylvester, dynamite. He's been bad in his first couple games back.
He's been hurt.
Someone needs to call Howard.
No, I'm saying his past couple games back just hasn't been good enough. The transfers like Mohamed Musa and Jordan Church, they're underperforming for sure. But Lance Robinson, Rasheed Miller, Pete Nigra, they're all not as good as they
Church sucks.
Yeah. No, get him out.
What number's Church again? I think
74.
74.
Yeah. There was one play my mom was watching a game at some point with me, and she was like, "That poor kid just got whooped."
And his ass whooped.
He just got pancaked by like a single 5'10" white defensive end. It was like watching. It's sad.
That happened last week against Pitt too, because a DB blitzed off the edge, literally grabbed Church and fucking threw him to the side, and then sacked Moss. I mean, just how does that happen?
And then Rasheed Miller's out there. Rasheed Miller's out there. The ball gets snapped, and
he doesn't know where the hell he is. I don't know if you guys know who Daniel Fa'alele is for the Ravens. He is the epitome. He's the college version of Fa'alele. Just fucking clueless. A big body of nothing.
That is the kind of
he doesn't know where he
problem
is.
The problem. That's not the problem. When also you're using the portal to get guys like that. That if they were.
He's a returner.
But I mean, well, I was talking about Church. When I thought he was transfer portal.
Well, he committed to us, came here, transferred, and then came back. Really weird story. Yeah, there you go, transfer portal for you. But so he's technically a transfer, but he was also technically.
That makes sense because he's about the equivalent of offensive line version of Huggins Bruce as a receiver.
Yeah,
so
mediocre.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. I want to get to the outro here. Going forward, obviously, we can have plenty of conversations about how you prevent the roster from having personnel issues like this, right? Going forward, we can have plenty of discussions on how you fix that. It's kind of an interesting conversation because Louisville's in one of those weird spots where a lot of, money would fix a couple of things too, obviously, and we don't have a whole lot of that to work with in terms of building the perfect offensive line and getting the transfer QB and retaining a Chris Bell and a Cullen Lacey and retaining a Duke Watson and an Isaac Brown. It's tough to do all of that, right?
We'll
get into all of that.
Because Will said something that made me laugh, and you all didn't get why I was laughing, which probably most people don't, because I just hear jokes in my own head. But when he kept brought up Indiana as a comparison of, Indiana's doing this with the coach and doing that, and we're not doing. And it's funny because I was just joking with UK friends this weekend when I'm like, I watched what Vanderbilt's doing and what Indiana's doing. I'm like, UK has no more excuses. Like that was UK's excuse for the longest time, and the SEC was, well, we're UK and the SEC is football. We're not Vanderbilt. We can't compete with these guys. When I see Vanderbilt competing, and what's UK's excuse? Will said that. I'm thinking, well, that's where we're at. We're like, if Indiana's doing it, why can't we? That's our excuse. We have no excuse now. I mean,
they've got more money. They've got more money
beyond what we are.
Let Indiana enjoy it because they're having their James Franklin Vanderbilt moment. It'll be over here in a year or two. Probably. He's going to go somewhere else. I mean, that's a given.
True. If that's the case, then yes. But if he stays there, they've got the money to make it work. So that's
Indiana. And football, no, they're okay in money, but they're not going to keep them.
They spent a lot last year.
Don't matter. Dimes. What they spend is what Michigan pulls out of their couch cushions.
Well, yeah.
Okay? Somebody is going to boom Pickens it and going to take that dude ain't going to. He might be in the end of next year. Next year, I'll give you. He's there in 2 years. I'll eat a salad.
But Indiana, still, that's another one of those schools that has one of those. They've got a weird ratio where there's a lot of NIL also going to basketball too, like we've got going here, which we're never going to complain about.
Well, last thing, look for the helpers. Just put in another chat. Thank you for tuning in as long as you have. But talking about how the size that we're signing in these freshman recruits on the O-line. Look at the roster. Our O-line is big as hell this year.
The younger guys are huge on the roster.
A lot of our O-line is 6'6" and above and 300+ pounds, and they're garbage. So the size isn't always the most important factor. Sometimes it is the motion of the ocean, as they say. So
I've been telling that for years. Thank you, Will.
You're welcome.
Thank
you. It is about the technique in this case, and they don't have it.
A lot of damage.
Yeah. So
I know you need some strength to get some push in the run game. I know you need that. Right. We're looking like we're lacking that right now. Well,
yeah.
But fellas,
all Greg Olson out there, doing it with the seventh floor crew. They call me Greg. Drop my pants, showing my third leg. Still the greatest rap. I don't care. That rap song is awesome.
We'll see what comes out in the coming weeks of the injury reports. We'll get on next week as well. We may just wait for the first injury report that comes out next week till we get that recording. Obviously, with the bye this weekend, maybe we get a little quick just sport recap weekend in the beginning of the week or this coming weekend potentially. But I do want to thank you guys for tuning in, listening in.
Can I ask you one quick question?
What's up?
Does Miller Moss finish the season?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm saying not being benched. I mean, would he get hurt?
That's a possibility.
Because I mean, he's taking a lot of hits.
Yeah,
he's a tough son of a bitch.
He seems tough.
But can he finish this season? Is my question.
I'd like to think. Call me crazy, fellas, and this is from the person that was, low, not surprised at all. That's feeling like I'm seeing things that were bound to happen potentially, but not necessarily. I didn't think it was going to be like this direct, right? This is directly the run game, the O-line impacting the run game and forcing the pass game to be the only factor that we've got, right? So we're one-dimensional and we're bad, and it's because of Miller Moss. I thought we were going to be really good one-dimensionally in the run game, and when it came down to decision-making, we didn't have the guy under center who was going to help us win games. Not really the reason or how it's unfolding, but still technically the same person that fault for our issues here. Just a little bit more blame to Jeff Brom, a lot more blame to Jeff Brom than I thought there was going to be. But I do think that, call me crazy, I think this O-line will improve. I think you've got the size, you've got the technique. If you can get them on the same page, if you can get them, maybe improving some things at practice, maybe let's start some post-snap shifts, like just try a whole different team technique in our run game and get things, we only run to the outside. Let's not even do the power down the middle. I don't even want to see it. Let's just go to the outside every time. I'm not saying wide necessarily, but if we can get some push to one side at least each run, that is a little bit harder to guard sometimes. So I do think that we've got the bodies, that we've had the snaps. The pass rush has shown that it can do it, that the offensive line can get on the same page a little bit and improve just a little bit to help the run game be an average run game. I'm not asking to have the best in the ACC. I think our offensive line can improve in its push enough to get us into an average run game, and that should protect Miller Moss's limbs. So,
and if that doesn't work, how rigged is the steroid testing in NCAA this year? I'm just saying, I know you guys never seen the program. Go watch it; it's a great movie. We might need to ladder more up these people. Maybe just a little boost just to help wake them up a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, fellas. Anything else before we get out of here?
Go Cards! That's all I got to say.
I'm watching American Dad.
Have
y'all seen that? By the way, this is old man, but have you seen the commercial where the guy sells off his kid's name rights? Like the banking commercial, they're like, Like AutoZone, so and so. They're like, you sold Turner's name rights? Like, yeah, college is expensive. That's a brilliant idea. Like, if I have kids, I'm selling off the kid's name. I mean, we give kids stupid names today anyway. Let's at least make them dollar off of it. If I ever have kids, I'm gonna name them like Arby's or something, and get the naming rights sold for it. It's a
You'll have
brilliant
kids.
idea.
When, not
what?
if, Trev. When, not if.
Or I was thinking more where, but okay.
Trev, before we get out of here, and give us a Blue Jays update. How are you feeling? Give us a confidence check.
Oh, you want an update? You want an update, buddy? Oh, here, I'll give you an update. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. I don't know any of those parts, but that part's awesome. Listen, it's beautiful. Beating the Yankees, Blue Jays. I've been telling people this. I wish you all bet it when I was just jokingly saying it back in May and June that all my professional teams were destined to be making finals this year. Eagles won the Super Bowl. Pacers went to the Game 7. Would have won it if it wasn't for bad referee and an injury. And now the Blue Jays, I said it. They were like under 500. I used to joke with Mike and other people. I'm like, put money on Toronto. I think they were like plus like 3,000 or something at the time. Like, they're going to do it. After that, they went on a winning streak. The best team in baseball. It's insane that we're a number one seed winning 94 games. We won 92 games 2 years ago and missed the playoffs. We won 94 and we're number one seed this year. Best team in the American League. It's going to be interesting to see who they play, whether it be the Dodgers or the Brewers. It'll be one of those two. And they're both good because Blue Jays pitching staff is not great, especially the bullpen. But, man, that offense is clicking. Vladdy is awesome. We still don't have Bo Bichette, which is insane. George Springer's having a great year. But I don't care. It's in Canada. It doesn't count. Yeah, it's beautiful. We're going to beat the Yankees on Tuesday. I've heard Trump's so pissed off he's already raised tariffs on Canada. So, I mean, that's how I'm mad. He's going to start sending ice to sending people north now. So that's how mad he said he heard when Toronto beat the Yankees the way they did. It's beautiful. Take it. Bet it. Tuesday, sweet.
Love it. I'm going to put
Shane
a
Bieber's
little
on the mound.
on it. Putting a little action on it.
I mean, have you seen our catcher, Alejandro Kirk? He's 5'8", like 300 pounds. It's hilarious. He looks like one of those like Russian nesting. He's like a Russian nesting doll.
Yeah, he's.
I mean, and the guy's out there hitting homers. I got a buddy who's Mexican. I always say, "Are you like a fat version of my buddy Ruben?" I mean, my buddy Ruben's like he always likes to blame his mom for sleeping with a sports star, but it was a jockey. So,
all right, fellas, this is going to wrap us up here on the Real Spiel live show. Thank you all so much for tuning in, all 80 of you all on the X live, and I think we got up to like 4 or 6 viewers on between the Twitch and the YouTube. Shout out to you guys as well. Like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to Look for the Helpers. Shout out to that was Jacob Westerman in here in the beginning as well. And then, of course, shout out Trevor Kelsey. Shout out Will Wigginton as well. My co-host here doing a brilliant job. If you guys want to sponsor the show, just shoot us a DM, shoot us a like, let us know. We'll promote you and your company on the show for a very, very, very low price, or anything. You could give us some gear or something.
You can give me a box of Rice Krispie treats. I'll do it for you.
If you got like a nice hoodie or pullover from your company, you can put your logo right here up on the screen. That's all it takes. I'm just kidding. But yeah, if you don't mind, like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all of the listeners and the viewers. We will be back next week sometime, giving you guys more updates on Louisville football and where we're at. A little bit of Louisville basketball talk here on the calendar. About to start up.
17 days till the exhibition, my friend.
I'm excited. Potential NCAA show being added to the channel. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Also got some big news before we get out of here. The Ticket Punchers, new radio show starting tomorrow on the Big X at 5:30. From 5:30 to 6, betting show. Me, 2 other co-hosts, my guys Lawrence and Curtis. We're going to be getting after it every day. Well, every Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 to 6. The Ticket Punchers, catch us tomorrow. We're going to be on the air, eventually on TV soon. I think like in the next couple of days. So, we're going to get you on that show here, get your picks sometime once a week potentially, but we're going to start getting you on the Run In with Roman show as well. So we're excited for that. Trevor sent us a text. He says, thank you all and good night. But this is going to wrap us